Okay, so welcome to the session about our international MA program in environmental studies at the Department of Environmental Studies in Tel Aviv University. What we'll do today is a short description of the program, and we will let you ask any questions you might have. If anything is not clear while I'm talking, please feel free to raise your hand. And I will, you don't need to wait for the end of my talk. My name is Vered Blas, and I'm heading the program here in our department. We will quickly review some facts on Tel Aviv University, which I'm sure you might heard in other sessions if you participated in any of the more general sessions today, and then we will jump to our program. So for those that are less familiar with Tel Aviv University, so we have more than 125 schools and departments. We have many international students coming, more than 2,000 every year out of our 30,000 students on campus. We have more than 400 labs of different faculty members. We have 9 faculties and many new, what we'll call cross-departmental research centers. So we have many research centers established in the last few years, if it's the Climate Center, if it's the Big Data and AI Center, if it's a Applied System Analysis Center, and many others that are relevant to many of the researchers that are working on sustainability aspects, but of course not only. Tel Aviv University is considered the biggest and best university in Israel, competing all the time with the Technion and the Hebrew University and Weizmann Institute, but each university has its own, strength and special departments. Our environmental studies is definitely a department that is most established, and even our international program is already 12 years old. Today you can find programs in other places, but they're all much younger and much less interdisciplinary. We have a lot of nice ranking, if it's in the research related with faculty and citation impact, if it's unicorn companies that comes out of our graduates, if it's about innovation, if about early stage innovation and patents, a lot of women on campus, both by graduate students and also faculty members, and also very related to the startup nation, VC raising money, new startups. Our graduates are known for that. And we, of course, have a major ecosystem built in the campus in order to facilitate that. And the same within environmental studies. Few facts about our program. So we have a 1-year accelerated program. So it's 3 full semesters and you are done with your MA program without the thesis. For thesis, you need a second year. Basically, the idea behind our program is that it's multidisciplinary, and we look at a variety of environmental challenges, both globally and with focus on our region and Israel specifically. We have a lot of researchers and lecturers that are giving courses specifically on different diverse topics, not necessarily our faculty, because we bring a lot of what we call the field into our campus to give a hands-on experience in our program. We also, within the international program, we have students from different countries and also Israelis that are choosing to take that international program and basically be able to get, to know variety of people. Last year we had, last year, those that are actually in the program now, we started 20 students from 8 different countries before we even had higher numbers. So we have, always around 8 to 12 different countries, variety of countries. Developed and developing countries, and we are very proud of that mix. I will not read through all this, it's a lot of text, but in general, all of the application requirements are listed here and they're also available online. You need 2 letters of recommendations, at least one of them academic. There is a short personal essay, and all of the grades is quite standard, nothing special or outstanding here from the required perspective. We also have available scholarship and funding. The tuition is around $11,000 a year, but it's for the 3 semesters. So basically it's getting done in 1 year, and it's the funding assistant is mainly available for international students, so not for the Israelis one. Anything for the admission, you are welcome to contact Lee afterwards, and everything is also online. Regarding the program itself, our curriculum is quite diverse. We have some basic courses like the core classes, and then we have elective classes for those that are interested to be more to get their expertise in a more specific topic like water or like any other subject. We can help you to organize and take the relevant elective courses, but the degree is 1 degree that you can choose the core. The core is the first semester mainly, and then you start with the electives, and there you have a bit of flexibility on which one to focus, depends on your interest. We also have a field trips course and a final project. The field trips is also something very unique when you're able to learn hands-on about things happening in the field. In different areas in Israel, and the final project allows you basically to kind of do a nice work that kind of take into account everything that you learned and try to do something in the area that you are interested in. In total, you are doing 38 credit points, and some of the students without a statistic background are required to take it as a complementary course without credit. In addition to the courses and the program itself, we have 2 unique opportunities. The first one is an internship program. So it's a 4-month internship position in one of our partners' places. It's leading environmental organizations. It could be NGOs, it could be municipalities, it could also be businesses. We have a very arranged process for that. In the beginning of the year, there is like a speed dating options with the different organizations that offer the internship, and there is a small stipend attached to that. And then, as I said in the beginning, our standard program is a 1 year, 3 semesters program, but that's without a thesis. If you are interested to develop and advance it to a thesis track after the first year, for those that are exceptional on their grades and their interest, there is also an option to extend in another year for working on your thesis. There is a special process on that, and during the end of the first semester, we give more details about that for those that are interested. You don't need to decide about it ahead of time. So you can start the regular program, and as you go to decide if you want to extend it, given you are allowed to do it with the grades and find supervisors, etc. The career opportunities for our graduates is very diverse. Okay, we see people going to NGO and governmental offices and businesses and startups. Sometimes they start their own initiatives and companies. Some of them decide to stay in Israel. Some of them make aliyah. Some of them go back to their own country and take what they learn and get a job there. So it's quite diverse. We are also doing more work to advance our career services and help you to navigate around that. We know this is something very important for choosing the program, and as we have a lot of connection in our program with industry and NGOs through different forums that we organize, we are able to give quite a lot of access and information for students that are interested. Sometimes those that do internships later on find jobs in the organization. So we try to network the students as much as possible. Here is for you 2 quotes, if you can, if you want to read it quickly, but you know, those are one from Israel and one from Germany, 2 students that we had here before, and what they say about the program and why they found it relevant and important in their career path. I will stop here and ask any questions that you have. You are welcome to, of course, contact me and contact Lee, which is a program coordinator. We can schedule a call, a Zoom meeting, anything to help you navigate the system, or any questions that you are not sure about and want to ask. You're welcome if you have any. Yes, please.
Hi. I'm Jamie. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Jamie.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm curious, as an English speaker, what kind of opportunities there would be for internships in the field. I'm particularly interested in environmental planning. I have an urban planning background, and I'm interested in moving into the sustainability environmental planning side of things. And also, I've recently made Aliyah, and have קצת עברית. I'm working on it. And so I just wanted to know more about opportunities after the program for moving into environmental planning in Israel with more limited Hebrew ability.
So I don't think the language is a barrier anymore, you know, especially on your daily walk. People are understanding good English and talking English, you know. So I don't think that's unless it's a position that requires a lot of, like, I would say, citizen participation, you know, a lot of sessions with people on getting, you know, the public opinion and stuff, then Hebrew is more important. But at the professional level, at the office, I'm quite sure, especially, you know, as you said, you made Aliyah, and you know, there is a lot of opening. I would say we have few people in our department, and also in what used to be the geography department is now transitioning. People with urban planning background, also in architecture. So I would encourage you. You know, I especially don't come from this field, so I don't want to say something wrong. But from what I know, and here I have, you know, I had few students from this big background in the Israeli research program. I just gave them like a course, so I got to know a bit of them. There's a big transition in the municipalities offices, in the private offices. You know, a lot of work in Israel on that is done by private consulting companies to the government and to the municipalities. And there is a lot of interest, a lot of interesting labs, research labs that are working in these areas. And I would encourage you to talk with them, because the transition is very positive, and the green building, and especially the Corona, made a big difference in the way municipalities think about the public space and walkability, and changing the way we, you know, we shop and we organize ourselves around, I don't know, the 15-minute city type of concept that we, you know, that is now promoted in many areas. So Tel Aviv municipality is very strong on doing such changes. So I think it's an interesting times to be in that topic, and we actually have quite a lot of even PhD students that just graduated and master students that come with that background, some of them in the non-thesis track, some of them in the thesis track, that you can, you know, get more insight from. We also have a Dr. Orly Ronen in our department, which is running the Urban Sustainability Lab, and she's connected to a lot of municipalities, and she knows, I think, quite good on efforts related to that. And she's also adding the internships program, so she can also help, you know, to think about maybe ahead of time direct you to relevant or connect you with people. But, you know, as everything, you will need to dig and walk around it and network with the right people. But we have quite a lot of people in that area. We have a frat in architecture. We have quite a lot of people doing urban planning from all kind of perspectives.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's really nice to meet you. And Lee, thanks for all the information you provided already.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I would like to ask, at least my first question is probably more of an academic one. I have a background in law, but actually how this environmental studies MA is built up is one of the first things that, you know, caught my eye. I mean, the background, the diversity of the academic background of the students. But the question is, how do you make sure that, you know, everyone understands everything, and how do you make sure that the diverse background is actually a positive thing? I mean, yeah, as I said, I'm fully, you know, for it, and really.
No, it's a good question. It's a good question. I would say, you know, it's part of the problem, but also part of being unique, you know, in our program, that we accept quite variety of backgrounds. And by the way, this is not just for the international program, it's also for the Hebrew speakers program, the regular program. And there's always a tension between, you know, how do you make sure that the engineer that is very quantitative is talking the same language like the, you know, the media person or the law person or the social worker or the nurse. Really, we got from really different backgrounds. And for this, the core courses are designed to bring everyone kind of to the same page, you know. So some, it will be easier for them to do the economics class because they came from that background. For some of them, they might have, you know, the ecology background. Some of them might be easier, you know, on the ethics class because they have it from the law or whatever. So the variety of classes that are on the core classes are designed so, you know, of course, not everyone can come with the exact same strength in everything, but this is exactly the purpose of the core classes. And then the electives are based on that. So the core classes are really the opportunity to make sure everyone speaks the same language. And of course, it's sometimes challenging. Someone that is completely not quantitative and suddenly need to take the economics. So yeah, it could be challenging. So it's not that it's, you know, easy thing. It's not designed to be easy for everyone, you know, but of course there are people that some of the courses might be more relevant to their background. It's really up to you, you know, how much you put into it. And of course, you will find a place, you know, there is a course in environmental law. So for you, it might be very easy to think about the reasoning for everything or the structure and the, you know, so again, this is not something I also did. It was quite a long time ago, but I did my master's program in the US, in California, and they're exactly the same. People came from media and from engineering and from law and from many different aspects. And the first year was all about core classes to make sure that everyone is on the same, it's an international approach when you want to do interdisciplinary training, basically, especially on sustainability.
Yeah, this sounds really good. And I mean, I understand also, you know, with all the, you know, the student testimonies and everything and all what's your website and everything else about the university says, I believe that it works in your place, but yeah, it's really, I guess it can be difficult without compromising the quality of the teaching. And yeah. Some
of them are just introductory classes. So you get, you know, just the basic, and then you have the elective, that's when you can get deeper, you know. So it really also depends on the topic.
Yeah, although I saw that some classes have some kind of prerequisites. So yeah, thanks for answering the question. It's really cool. Can I ask another question, or maybe? Okay.
Yes,
so I would love to hear more about the professors and the students and their relationship. How can I imagine, you know, how much students would you teach? I mean, one professor would have a class size of, you know, how many students, and just in general, what are your thoughts about the students and the professors' relationship, mentorship?
So in general, I would say that we're quite informal on the relationship, right? So it's like an open door policy, and if someone wants to consult or something is not clear, we are quite accessible. Also, specifically in the international program, we have quite a lot of external lecturers because we are quite a small department, and so we have quite a lot of external lecturers, and they're all very nice and you know, and service oriented, and we never had problems of, you know, not being able, you know, to talk or to discuss things with professors. I would say that in the past, all of the classes were separated. So the international program had their own classes and the Hebrew speaker programs had their own classes. And some of the feedback that we got is that the international students want to mix more with the Israelis, because in the past there were also almost no Israelis. Now it's a bit different. Every year we have 2-3 Israelis to join the international program, but in the past it was quite separate. People were afraid from the English. I don't know, it was too busy one year, whatever the reasoning. So we actually started to offer many of the classes together. Okay, so actually you take, so the disadvantage is that it's a bigger class, but the advantage that the student we're looking for is this interaction with these Israelis, because just to take the same, all the classes with your 20, peers in the program at some point, even if you want to get to try to do assignments with other people or anything like that, it's more diverse, of course, when you have bigger classes. So now we offer many of the classes, besides a few. We offer quite a lot that are joint. Next year, I think still we have some. We are going towards this direction when more classes will be in English for both students. But so it's a mix. For some of them, it's small classes. For some of them, it's with the Israelis. You are also allowed to take 1 or 2 classes out, if they're relevant to sustainability in other departments. So there are other international programs, so you can meet, peers from other programs. And also you have the seminar classes, which are quite small. We don't allow more than 20 in a class. So because this is more intense and requires more attention of the teacher. So it depends on the type of the class. A lot of the assignments are in pairs. So you can, get to know the different people. I know I cannot speak in the name of all of the lecturers, but Lee, I think you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that most of them are really, really nice and making effort to, to be communicative and help whenever they can, but it's a very small department. So we have, and we have this nice building and everything is accessible. It's up to the student, how much interaction to do, I don't think that any of us will say no to interaction. So
that's what I was going to say, that it's really a great opportunity to network, not just with students, but also with the lecturers. So it's also up to you. Yes.
And it's more than the lectures, it's also with the ecosystem, I will call it, because we bring all kind of events and conferences and speakers and the internship program. So it's up to also the student how much they utilize, what we are, we have the social gatherings and planting on the roof and all kind of small, giving feedback. So the opportunities to give feedback, all of that is mechanisms for us to get engaged together, so sometimes we wish the students would be even more interested in engaging. So it goes all directions, But I'm confident to say that the students are interested in looking for that. They're getting the attention. I mean,
yeah, this all sounds really good. Thanks a lot.
There was some type of a question in the chat, Lee. Did you look on it?
Yes, I thought I now see it. There is a question: is there any possibility of a pre-course program for people who do not meet the average requirement? With GPA, I understand is below 80. We don't have a preliminary program. If you don't meet the average of 80, if your average is between 75 to 80, you can still apply for the program. Just take under consideration that spaces are very limited. So the chances to be accepted if your average is not above 80 are lower. So that's the option.
So we have a bit of flexibility, right, with the waiting list so they can improve in the first semester, right? There is like small waiting, we have very little space for that, like 1 or 2. If you are very close to the 80, below, there might be an opportunity to accept as a conditional accept for the first semester grades. Any other questions? And again, Joshua, you're welcome. If that's the case for you, you're welcome to be in touch with Lee, and she can look into the details. There are a few factors that are relevant. It's not just the pure average. So it's English proficiency and a few other things that that we look at. Yes, Jamie.
Hi, thanks again. How can we register for the session on the 22nd?
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed that. Let me just share screen again. Thanks for reminding me that. So
Yes, I
on,
will send the link in the chat.
Just show you here. So you can join one of the core classes by Dr. Alon Chapon. Lee can send you the link.
I will send now.
So you will have a live class streaming on March 22nd. When is that? Do you know, Lee, what time of the day?
It's on Wednesday at 12.
Okay. So by the way, this is a very unique, like Alon has a very unique field of expertise, and this, in general, this field of nutrition and agriculture and food tech and the future food, there are few programs now coming up, and Alon is one of the first researchers in this area in Israel, and this is also unique that it's actually a core class in our program. There is also electives in that area. So in food systems interest you, food system and nutrition, and Alon is also connected to some NGOs and some national level initiatives related to food and food security. That's something that that is very relevant and very specific to our program.
Great, thank you so
And
much.
it's not from some ask us, because there is the program in Rehovot of the Hebrew University, so it's very different because Alon takes an holistic approach and life cycle thinking approach to nutrition systems. And it looks on the entire chain and also policy implications. So it's less about the economics, it's more about the environmental impacts and trade-offs between diets and how do you look on nutrition at the end of the day. It's a very holistic approach for food.
I would like to ask if you could elaborate on the thesis track option, not just the requirements, but how this year would look like for someone who is interested and succeeded to enter.
Yeah, so at the end of the first semester, we make like an information session. We give all the details, but in general, if you are interested in that, then you have the second semester to basically look for advisors and close the topic. What's the minimum grade that you need to have? Is it 85 or?
In the first semester, yes.
Yes, so you need to finish. Yeah, you need to finish the first semester with 85. And also on the other end, you do finish the non-thesis program. So it's not that you are switching, you are finishing it. And then in the second year, you are working on your thesis, okay? And that's especially important because from some reasons, people switch, do it, not do it. So you have a degree, it's important that the system allows you to finish and it's technical then that you move to a thesis track, but you can always, you will get a degree at the end, which is really important because some Israeli students, we have different tracks and it's not so easy to move between them. So here it's designed. So if you finish, you find the topic and the advisors during the second semester, you start working on it on the third semester, but you are still completing everything that is required for the thesis without for the track without the thesis, just in case. And then you have the second year to work on it. And then once you have it ready, there's a process of basically once your advisors approve that the thesis is good to go, then we find 2 external reviewers and they evaluate the written thesis, and then there is also an oral exam. And together it's a mix, of the oral and the written is becoming together the grade of the the grade of the entire degree together with the courses. So basically the weight of the courses versus the written versus the oral is altogether the final degree of the final grade of the degree.
Yeah, just to emphasize on what Verd said, that you complete all the courses on the first year. On the second year, you have like one research method course, and the rest of the time you need to dedicate to your research. You don't have any more class work. So hopefully you will finish within a year to do your thesis.
Thanks a lot. It's really clear. Thanks a lot.
And of course, if you already know that you want to do it, so it's you know, the earlier you find advisor in a topic in general, it's better. It's just that the first semester is really packed. So usually we give all the information at the end of the first semester, also after you're a bit, you know, inclined and like acclimed, ready to to work on things. Okay, so if there are no further questions, we will end this session. You can really, this is an extension of invitation to contact us with any questions that you're not sure about. You know, if it's to topic specific, we can direct you to the relevant people. Each of the faculty members has their own expertise, very diverse. Liz, the queen, she knows everything of the program, and she can help you with administrative stuff, with funding questions, admission questions, or direct you, you know, professionally to the relevant people if a specific topic is of interest for you. And we are here to help you make the right decision.
Thanks a lot. Really informative session. Thank you.
And Jamie, there are quite a few students that actually made Aliyah and started the program, few of them this year, and few, so also if it's, you know, if you want to get to talk with some of them, maybe Lee can help you, you know, some of them made Aliyah before, and some of them and already been in Israel before they started the program, a year or a few months. Some of them started the program, and as they were going, they did the process, some of them after, but there are quite a lot, so it might, you know, if you have specific questions.
Yes. Also, TAU International opened like a new department that helps new immigrants. So in case of any need, there's someone you can contact on that specific issue.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay, have a good rest of the day, evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Litot. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.